Discuss Neptune's retrograde in Pisces and the current emotional storm that seems to be brewing. And I'll have to apologize that this week is audio only. My editing software has had a recent update and I'm still in the learning curve. But I wanted to get this information out. We are in an important time in our collective story. This will be the last time that we who are living now will share this experience, unless we somehow learn to extend human life past 170 plus years. Well, let's start with the data. Neptune has been retrograde, moving through the early degrees of Aries, and just re-entered Pisces on October 22nd, 2025. Neptune will station direct on December 10th, 2025, at the last degree of Pisces, which is also the culmination point of the entire zodiac. This is all about endings. It will move back into Aries January 26th of 2026, where it will remain until 2039. And this is all about the new. And now for the discussion. This retrograde takes us back to the very end of a long chapter. Neptune's journey through Pisces began in 2011. So we're being asked to look at what we've learned over the past 14 years about faith, illusion, and emotional truth before Neptune moves back into Aries and begins a brand new cycle. Neptune in Pisces blurs boundaries. It heightens sensitivity, deepens empathy, and dissolves lines between the spiritual and the material. It can connect us to the highest expressions of inspiration, compassion, and higher consciousness. But it can also create confusion, escapism, or loss of clarity. As Neptune is retrograding in its own home sign, these themes will come back up for review. We're shown where we might still be holding on to illusions, where we've really outgrown certain ideals or emotional habits. And Neptune retrogrades can often bring clarity, but in Pisces, it's still quite intangible. The last time Neptune was in Pisces was from about 1847 to 1862, and that period was full of collective awakening and disillusionment. The spiritualist movement took off. People began exploring psychic phenomena, mediumship, and the idea of communicating with the unseen. At the same time, society was going through huge transformations. Industrialization, revolutions, and the fight for human rights were just a few. Neptune in Pisces tends to open the collective heart while exposing where we're living in denial or fantasy. It dissolves outdated systems and asks humanity to evolve emotionally and spiritually. So this retrograde back into Pisces gives us one final opportunity to process everything that the current era has brought to the surface. Think about how much has changed since 2011 in our relationship with spirituality, technology, empathy, and emotional connection. Neptune's influence has made us more aware of energy in terms of energy healing and energy movement, intuition, and the invisible threads that connect all of us. But it's also created a lot of noise, misinformation, spiritual bypassing, and emotional overwhelm. So now, as Neptune retraces these final degrees, we are being asked to find clarity inside the fog. to separate truth from illusion. And this can only happen by going within. Part of the medicine we are given is Saturn's co-presence, helping us to create new boundaries around where we find inspiration and meaning. But there's another layer to our current time frame. Most of the planets are now in air and water signs, including the Sun, which has recently moved into the deep waters of Scorpio. This is the storm that I mentioned. This can feel like incredible internal upheaval and even emotional flooding that leads to overwhelm. So let's take a look at why this is and what we might be able to do about it. Air represents intellect, communication, and objectivity. Water represents emotion, intuition, and feeling. Together, they challenge us to balance how we process reality, to bring more awareness into our emotional lives and more empathy into our thinking. And one pattern that I see repeatedly showing up in the collective has been the intellectualization of emotion. We've learned how to talk about how we feel, how to analyze it, and even spiritualize it. But we've not learned always how to feel it. We may say something like, yeah, I understand why I'm sad, but that's still a mental statement. Neptune's retrograde and this air and water balance is reminding us that true understanding comes from experience, not analysis. It's not enough to think about emotion. We need to actually allow ourselves to feel it, integrate it, and let it inform us on how to move forward. This is alchemy in and through the body. And working with this kind of emotional energy looks like slowing down and becoming honest about what's real. Maybe begin to notice where you might be using logic, busyness, or even spirituality to avoid your own emotional process. You can ask yourself, what emotion am I trying to make sense of instead of feeling? This is a time to bridge our hearts and our minds. Let your intellect help you name what you feel, but then give the feeling space to move through your body. We can work on things like journaling, because it's a physical way of getting our mental and emotional space out, the energy out. Something like breath work or even quiet reflection helps to let the emotions become a form of insight that we can work with, rather than seeing it as something to fix or escape. Collectively, Neptune's final pass through Pisces is asking us to clean up our relationship to illusion. It's about seeing clearly where we've projected our hopes and even our fears onto others, where we've chased ideals instead of maintaining presence, or where we've lost where we've lost touch with our own spiritual truth. This is about understanding that compassion without boundaries becomes confusion, and idealism without grounding becomes avoidance. When Neptune re-enters Aries, the energy will shift from reflection to action. But before this happens, we need to have time to clear up our internal waters. It's a space to release the emotional weight that we've been carrying and to integrate lessons of empathy and prepare to embody our dreams in practical ways. So over the next few weeks to few months, stay curious about what's surfacing in your emotions and your beliefs, and even in your relationships. When things feel foggy or uncertain, try not to rush to define them. Sit with them and let clarity arise naturally. To move from illusion to clarity, from analysis to embodiment, from confusion to compassion. And when we can balance these things, feeling and understanding, emotion and intellect, we evolve. If you're looking for some guidance on helping you navigate these times, please feel free to reach out to me. I offer a free call to discuss how I might be of service to you. And you can find me at astrokara.com. Until next time, take care of you.